Dear Starseed from Gaia, the words you cried into your pillow did not disappear into the night. They reached him across the world, stirring a truth he has been unable to silence. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the reunion guides are speaking through me now because this moment carries a message your heart has been waiting to receive. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to navigate twin flame separation. But here's the first revelation. Your tears were not proof that you were abandoned. They were the release of a love too deep to remain hidden. And across the distance, something in him recognized the ache, the bond, and the truth between you. You didn't find this video by chance. Your heart called this message in. This isn't just a message, it's a moment of divine intervention. Your soul has been waiting for this guidance. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Your heart knows why you're here. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the divine love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. And now, stay with what is moving through you, because the tears, the memories, and the sudden feeling that someone far away may have felt your presence are not asking you to abandon discernment. They are asking you to listen more deeply to yourself. Sometimes the heart releases what the mind has been trying to contain. Sometimes a person appears in your inner world because they are connected to a real chapter of your growth. And sometimes the image of that person becomes a mirror, showing you the love, safety, tenderness, and recognition you have been learning to offer yourself. Let the feeling be present without demanding that it immediately explain itself. You do not have to name every current in the river before allowing it to carry something away. The body often knows that a season is ending before the mind has gathered enough evidence to agree. A sudden memory may be a doorway into grief, gratitude, forgiveness, or simply the awareness that you are no longer the person who once stood inside that story. In the stillness, ask yourself gently, what is this feeling inviting me to understand about my own heart? Do not ask only whether he is thinking of you. Ask what your own soul is trying to return to you. The most important truth is that distance does not create the deepest separation. Unhealed fear does. 2 people can live in the same room and remain worlds apart, while 2 souls separated by oceans can awaken something profound in one another. But awakening is not the same as possession. A feeling is not a command. A memory is not always a promise of immediate reunion. The sacred path asks you to honor what you feel without surrendering your power to it. There are invisible bridges between people, but a bridge is meant to allow movement, not to become a place where you build your entire home. You may sense another person because the connection touched something meaningful, yet still choose to remain rooted in the life directly before you. Even Scripture reminds us that there is a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to gather and a time to release, a time to speak and a time to be silent. Discernment is the lamp you carry through both seasons. It allows you to believe in the sacred without turning uncertainty into certainty. Many souls struggle with divine love because they have been taught to measure love by evidence that can be seen, touched, or controlled. They wait for a message, a return, a confession, a sign that removes all uncertainty. When the sign does not arrive, they assume the connection was imaginary or that they themselves were forgotten. But the heart does not always speak through immediate outcomes. It often speaks through the places where you are still asking another person to confirm that you are worthy of being chosen. You may look at the silence and think it is saying, "You were not enough," when silence may simply be revealing that the other person is unable or unwilling to communicate. Those are not the same truth. The absence of someone's action is information about their capacity, not a measurement of your value. The stars do not stop shining because clouds pass over them, and your worst does not disappear because another person has failed to see, name, or protect it. Love can be real and still not be ready. A connection can be meaningful and still require boundaries. Your task is not to force the hidden to become visible. but to become honest about what is visible now. This is the wound beneath the waiting. It is not simply the longing for him. It is the longing to feel undeniable, to be remembered without having to remind someone, to be sought without having to pursue, to know that your tenderness did not disappear into silence. And because this wound is so human, you may have mistaken its ache for proof that you must keep reaching toward the past. Somewhere beneath the longing may be an older story, perhaps from childhood, perhaps from a relationship that taught you to compete for attention, perhaps from years of being praised only when you were useful, quiet, beautiful, or easy to love. The waiting then becomes more than waiting for a person. It becomes an attempt to rewrite the first moment you felt overlooked. But no delayed message can heal that wound permanently. No reunion can guarantee that you will never feel abandoned again. The healing begins when you stop placing your inner child at the door of someone else's inconsistency and bring that child home to you. The Arcturian heart wisdom teaches that love becomes clear when the emotional body is no longer using another person as a doorway to self-worth. Your heart can recognize a soul connection and still choose peace. You can feel a bond and still honor boundaries. You can hold compassion for someone who is far away without placing your life on pause. This is not the ending of love. It is the purification of love. Like gold passing through fire, what is false begins to fall away, while what is essential becomes brighter and more enduring. Purification may feel uncomfortable because it removes fantasies that once helped you survive uncertainty. It may ask you to separate spiritual knowing from emotional projection, compassion from rescue, and devotion from attachment. You are not being asked to become less loving. You are being asked to let love become clean enough that it no longer contains fear disguised as faith. The purest love does not demand that you abandon the wisdom your suffering has earned. There is an invisible difference between calling someone toward you and abandoning yourself while waiting for them. Calling is an expression of wholeness. Waiting in self-abandonment is an attempt to make another person responsible for your sense of completion. The first expands your life. The second gradually narrows it until every silence feels like a verdict. You can send a prayer without sending your power away. You can hold an intention without monitoring the universe for proof that it has been received. Imagine standing in a garden and watering the soil, then allowing the sun, the seasons, and the unseen roots to do their work. You do not dig up the seed every morning to check whether it is growing. In the same way, you can nurture your healing while allowing life to reveal what is truly meant to bloom. If the connection is aligned, it will not require you to destroy the garden of your own becoming. The first sacred key is the worthiness. Unlock. Before divine partnership can be received with steadiness, the heart must stop treating love as a reward for perfect behavior. Many people carry an old belief that if they become more beautiful, more successful, more patient, more spiritual, or more emotionally convenient, then someone will finally stay. But love that requires you to disappear is not the frequency your soul is asking you to embody. You are not created as a project waiting to be improved into lovability. You are not a rough draft that another person may approve after enough effort. The ancient truth that you are fearfully and wonderfully made does not become less true during rejection, delay, or loneliness. A partner may appreciate your beauty, but they cannot author your worth. They may recognize your gifts, but they did not place them inside you. The divine planted those gifts before anyone arrived to validate them. Worthiness is not a mood you force yourself to feel. It is a relationship you build with yourself through repeated choices. It is the choice to stop rereading a message that wounded you. It is the choice to rest instead of proving your value through exhaustion. It is the choice to tell the truth about what you need, even when you fear that honesty may cause someone to leave. Each time you refuse to betray yourself for closeness, a chamber in your heart opens. Begin with small acts that seem ordinary but carry sacred weight. Eat when you are hungry, sleep when you are tired, leave conversations that repeatedly make you question your sanity. Allow your no to be complete without a paragraph of apology. Let your yes come from desire rather than fear. These choices teach your nervous system that love does not have to be purchased through performance. They turn self-respect from an idea into a living frequency. When this key turns, you no longer approach love with the question, "How can I make him choose me?" You begin asking, "Does this connection meet me in truth?" consistency, and mutual care? That question does not make you cold. It makes your heart safe enough to receive what is real. It also changes the kind of signs you notice. Instead of searching for repeating numbers while ignoring repeated disappointment, you begin noticing whether someone's words and actions agree. Instead of asking whether the chemistry is powerful, you ask whether your body feels peaceful in their presence. Instead of measuring destiny by intensity, you measure alignment by integrity. The heart can still be passionate, but it no longer needs chaos to feel alive. The second key is the mirror of recognition. The person who awakened your deepest emotions may have reflected a part of you that had been sleeping. Perhaps you became more honest after knowing him. Perhaps you began creating, healing, traveling, praying in your own way, or speaking words you had swallowed for years. Perhaps his presence revealed not only what you desired, but also what you would no longer tolerate. Some encounters arrive like a sudden window opening in a room you had forgotten was closed. Through that opening, you glimpse a larger life. You hear music again. You remember that your spirit has color. You discover that beneath the identity of caretaker, survivor, or abandoned one, there is still a person who wants to explore, create, and be fully seen. This is why some connections feel larger than their visible history. They activate an inner before and after. Yet the mirror is not asking you to remain trapped in the moment when you first saw yourself through someone else's eyes. It is asking you to claim that reflection as your own. The tenderness you felt was yours. The courage that rose in you was yours. The capacity to love deeply was yours before he recognized it. If the connection awakened your voice, do not hand your voice back to the person who inspired it. If it awakened your creativity, keep creating. If it awakened your prayer, keep praying. What someone reflected may have been waiting within you for years, like a flame hidden beneath ash. When you retrieve those qualities from the connection, you stop chasing the mirror and begin becoming the light it reflected. If he is aligned to walk beside you, the relationship will meet you there through mutual action. If he is not, the transformation will still be sacred because it was never dependent on one person's permission. You do not have to make the mirror return in order to keep the face you saw in it. You can carry that recognition into friendships, work, art, community, and the quiet way you speak to yourself. The love you thought belonged to the relationship may become the atmosphere of your entire life. The third key is the release of old emotional contracts. There are relationships that teach you how to open, relationships that teach you how to speak, and relationships that teach you where you have been abandoning yourself. Not every intense bond is designed to continue in its original form. Some are catalysts, some are thresholds. Some are chapters whose purpose is fulfilled when you stop asking them to become something they have not shown themselves capable of being. A contract may be formed silently when you tell yourself, "I will remain available until you understand," or "I will accept whatever happens because our connection is rare." But rarity does not automatically mean health. A rare flower still needs the right soil, light, and care to survive. Releasing a contract does not mean denying what happened. It means removing the hidden agreement that says, "Because I loved you, I must wait forever," or "Because this felt destined, I must accept confusion." You can honor the soul lesson without remaining loyal to pain. You can bless the memories without using them as evidence that your future has already been decided. Consider writing down the promises you made while afraid. Then read them slowly and ask which ones were created from love and which ones were created from the fear of being left. You may discover that devotion was mixed with self-erasure, patience with silence, and hope with postponement. Gently separate them. Keep the wisdom. Release the burden. Tonight, or whenever the longing becomes heavy, place your hand over your heart and imagine gathering every piece of yourself you left in unanswered conversations. Do not force the person away. Simply call your energy home. Say, "I release the need to be chosen by what cannot meet me. I keep the love, the wisdom, and the truth. I return the waiting to the past." Let the words be gentle. The heart releases more easily when it does not feel commanded. You might imagine golden threads returning from old places, from old rooms, from photographs, from imagined futures, from every conversation you rehearsed in your mind. Watch those threads gather beneath your hand, not as lost energy, but as returning life. You are not erasing the chapter. You are closing the door softly so that the wind no longer moves through every room. The fourth key is sacred timing. Divine timing is not a reason to tolerate endless uncertainty or to make excuses for someone's absence. It is the recognition that your life is unfolding through more than one calendar. You may want the reunion before your emotional body has learned how to remain open without fear. You may want a message before you know how to receive it without abandoning your standards. You may want commitment before both people have become capable of sustaining what they desire. There is a difference between a delay that is preparing something and a pattern that is simply withholding something. Divine timing never asks you to call neglect holy. It does not ask you to remain in a waiting room where your life is not allowed to begin. Sometimes the delay is not punishment. Sometimes it is protection from receiving a beautiful connection with an unprepared nervous system. If you and another person return to one another while the old wounds were still directing the relationship, the reunion might only recreate the separation. Sacred timing gives each soul the opportunity to become more honest, more stable, and more capable of choosing love in ordinary moments, not only in intense ones. A relationship must survive more than the first rush of recognition. It must be able to hold difficult conversations, tired evenings, competing needs, misunderstandings, and the vulnerability of being known over time. The pause may be teaching you to distinguish a miracle from a moment. A moment can be breathtaking. A miracle must also be able to remain. Let timing refine you rather than suspend you. Continue your life. Let yourself laugh, meet people, make plans, and become curious again. The future does not become less sacred because you allow yourself to be present today. In fact, presence is often the frequency through which the next chapter can find you. Make plans that do not include waiting. Visit the place you have postponed visiting. Learn the skill that keeps calling to you. Let sunlight touch your face without asking whether it carries a message. The soul does not grow only in longing. It grows in ordinary days, in clean rooms, shared meals, meaningful work, and moments when you suddenly realize you went several hours without checking your phone. The fifth key is magnetic embodiment. You do not draw healthy love by performing that you need nothing. You draw it by becoming honest about what you need and no longer bargaining against yourself to receive a little of it. Magnetic alignment is not pretending to be above longing. It is allowing longing to reveal your values without allowing it to dictate your choices. If you long for tenderness, do not shame yourself for having a tender heart. If you long for communication, do not pretend that inconsistency does not matter. Your desires are messengers, but they are not masters. They can show you the landscape of your values while your wisdom decides where you will walk. Ask yourself what the love you desire would feel like in daily life. Would it be consistent communication? Emotional accountability? Affection that does not disappear when vulnerability appears? A partnership where both people initiate, repair, and make room? Now practice giving your own life the shape of that frequency. Communicate with yourself clearly. Repair your relationship with rest. Make space for joy. Keep promises to yourself. Let your home, schedule, and choices tell your heart that stability is welcome here. If you desire gentleness, stop speaking to yourself with the voice of your harshest critic. If you desire devotion, devote time to the things that keep your spirit alive. If you desire a love that listens, listen to the signals in your own body before they become exhaustion, resentment, or despair. The energy you seek is not a performance you put on for another person. It is a standard you live inside. When you embody it, you become less fascinated by inconsistency, less willing to confuse chemistry with safety, and less likely to call anxiety a spiritual sign. You may still feel the pull toward him, but you will no longer mistake the pull for an instruction to pursue what is unavailable. Your magnetism becomes quiet and grounded. It no longer says, "Look at me so I can know I exist." It says, "I know who I am, and what enters my life must be able to meet me in truth." That is not a wall. It is a doorway with discernment. The sixth key is the wisdom of separation. Separation can expose the places where love became entangled with fear. It can show you whether you missed the person, the potential, or the version of yourself you were when you believed everything was about to change. It can reveal the difference between intuition and obsession. Intuition may be quiet, even when it is profound. Obsession demands repetition. searches for hidden messages, and makes peace dependent on an outcome. Intuition leaves room for freedom. It can say, "This mattered," without insisting, "Therefore, this must happen exactly as I imagine." Obsession closes the hand around a possibility until even hope begins to feel like pressure. The sacred use of separation is not to glorify suffering. It is to allow clarity to emerge where proximity once kept you emotionally intoxicated. With space, you can ask whether the connection is reciprocal, whether it honors your dignity, and whether the love you feel can exist in the real world, not only in dreams, signs, and private longing. Distance can become a clear sky after a storm. It does not erase the landscape. It allows you to see its shape. You may recognize that you are carrying most of the emotional labor, interpreting every silence, initiating every repair, and calling the fragments a sacred mystery. You may also recognize what was beautiful and true. Both can exist. Clarity does not require you to turn love into hatred. If the bond is meant to return in a healthy form, your growth will not repel it. Growth will clarify it. What is aligned will be able to meet the person you are becoming. What depends on your silence, confusion, or self-neglect will fall away. Either way, you are not losing love. You are losing the version of love that required you to remain incomplete. The tree does not apologize when it sheds a branch that can no longer carry life. It makes room for new growth. Let separation show you what has roots and what was only wrapped around you because you were afraid to stand alone. The seventh key is reunion readiness, and this is the key many people overlook. A reunion is not simply the moment someone comes back. It is the moment both people can meet without asking the other to carry the wounds they have refused to face. It is the ability to speak plainly instead of communicating through tests. It is the willingness to repair instead of disappearing. It is affection supported by action. A reunion should not require you to become the detective, therapist, rescuer, or spiritual interpreter of the relationship. Both people must be willing to participate in the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Your heart may be ready to forgive, but is your life ready to receive consistency? Are you ready to hear from him without abandoning your boundaries? Are you ready to accept an apology without immediately handing over access? Are you ready to let love unfold slowly enough that reality can confirm what emotion once imagined? These questions are not meant to close the door. They are meant to make sure you are not opening it from the same place of hunger that once allowed anything inside. Forgiveness can be immediate, while trust is rebuilt through time. Hope can be present, while access remains earned. Love can be offered, while discernment remains awake. The final lock opens from within because no external reunion can heal the part of you that believes love must be chaste. When that part is soothed, you can recognize the difference between a return and a repetition. You can welcome what is genuine and release what only reopens the wound. A return brings evidence of growth. A repetition brings the same pain wearing a new expression. A return can speak openly about what happened. A repetition asks you to pretend nothing happened. A return moves toward mutuality. A repetition expects you to resume the old role. When you are anchored in yourself, you no longer need to decide from panic. You can let time reveal the fruit. Here is what your deeper self has been trying to tell you. The words you cried into your pillow were not wasted, even if no one heard them in the way you wanted. They were the language of a heart releasing pressure. They were the truth you had been too afraid to speak in daylight. They were proof that something in you still believed tenderness mattered, even after disappointment taught you to expect less. Those tears were not evidence that you were broken. They were rain falling on ground that had become too hard to receive anything new. Every honest cry softened something. Every night, you survived without the answer you wanted, strengthened a hidden muscle of endurance. But your tears were never meant to become a permanent home. They were meant to move through you. They carried grief, yes, but they also carried the old identity that believed love had to be earned through suffering. Each tear loosened a thread tying your future to a moment that could not fully hold you. Each honest night brought you closer to the part of yourself that no longer needs to be pursued in order to feel precious. Grief is a passage, not a residence. You can honor it without decorating the room and asking it to define you. There will come a morning when you notice that the memory still exists, but it no longer commands the weather inside you. You may wonder whether he felt your pain across the distance. Perhaps he sensed something. Perhaps the connection stirred his own memories. Perhaps the universe used your longing to awaken both of you in ways you cannot yet see. But your healing cannot depend on receiving confirmation of what happened in his inner world. The most liberating answer may not be knowing whether he heard every word. It may be realizing that you heard yourself at last. You heard the boundary you had been ignoring. You heard the desire you had minimized. You heard the part of you that whispered, beneath all the analysis, I want to be loved in a way I can recognize. That voice is sacred. Do not silence it because another person has not answered. Your heart is not foolish for remembering. It is not weak for caring. It is not behind because love has not arrived in the form you expected. You are learning to hold profound feeling without allowing it to erase your discernment. You are learning that divine love can be spacious, truthful, and grounded. It does not require you to monitor another person's energy every hour. It does not ask you to interpret every coincidence as a contract. It does not make you smaller so that someone else can remain comfortable. The love that is truly aligned will not punish you for having standards. It will not demand that you call anxiety intuition or call neglect patience. It will allow your spirit to breathe. If he is part of the path ahead, let the connection return through clarity, courage, and mutual effort. Let him meet you where you are not in the old place where you were willing to accept fragments. And if the path leads you somewhere unexpected, trust that the love your soul recognized was not lost. It became a compass. It taught you the texture of what your heart can feel. And now you are learning to choose the form that can truly sustain it. Perhaps the journey is not asking you to forget him, but to stop making his presence the only evidence that your life is moving toward love. There are many doors through which love can enter. Your task is to remain open without standing at one door forever. Place your hand over your heart now. Breathe slowly. Feel the space beneath your palm as a quiet room no distance can enter without your permission. Say to yourself, I am worthy of love that is present, honest, and mutual. I release the need to chase what is meant to meet me. I honor what awakened me, and I welcome what can stay. Do not say these words to force a reunion. Say them to return to yourself. Let the breath move down into your ribs. Let your shoulders soften. Feel the difference between reaching outward for an answer and resting inward in your own presence. You are not empty because someone is absent. You are a living sanctuary, and the first sacred presence you are learning to trust again is your own. And if his name rises again, let it rise without panic. You do not have to fight the memory or build a shrine around it. You can bless the connection and continue walking. You can love someone in your heart while choosing a life that loves you back in visible ways. This is the balance the awakened heart learns. Tenderness without attachment, hope without suspension, openness without self-betrayal. Let the memory pass through like a bird crossing the sky. You do not need to capture it to prove that you saw it. Some memories are meant to be honored, not obeyed. Some feelings are meant to be felt, not followed. The distance between two souls is not measured in miles. It is measured in willingness. Willingness to tell the truth. Willingness to grow. Willingness to show up when the intensity fades and ordinary life begins. You have already crossed the greatest distance, the distance between the person who begged to be remembered and the person who now remembers herself. That crossing may not have been visible to anyone else, but heaven witnessed every step. You moved from seeking confirmation to becoming confirmation. You moved from asking whether you are worthy of love to learning how to live as someone who knows it. Whatever happens next, you do not walk toward it as the abandoned version of yourself. You walk as the one who returned home. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't content, it's collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space. And we're just getting started.